could be a 1 megabyte file, it could be a 5 gigabyte file, and you take the time and effort to make that, and then people are bitching at it, all over the place. Now he put down no trolling. The last 2 words on the post were no trolling. Now that's something he should implement, or not just Yeti. I mean, Tom has a job and he does other stuff, but he does have other admins, or get some more tracker admins, and it's easy to spot who the trolls are. I mean, geez, there's a dozen of them.
Oh yes, such as the Jew Dunamis. To bring it back to Alex Jones, I have to, because we haven't really finished his timeline up to recent. After the airplane crash into the IRS, which he immediately labeled the person as somehow government affiliated, even though Alex Jones's own producer used to be with that IRS guy. Was it Joe Stack in a band?
Joe Stack.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, the Pentagon shooting.
Joe, I didn't even know that, Joe. I didn't even know that.
Oh, yes. So if he's saying that Joe Stack was government affiliated, that means his own producer is government affiliated. Now we're talking about the Pentagon shooting. Alex Jones, again, accuses the person of being government agent. I believe I know the reason why, because this man was obviously an Alex Jones supporter. And let me give a little hint, message for all you AJ heads. If y'all ever get in trouble, the first thing Alex Jones will do is disavow you. I mean,
track record. He's a track record of it.
Exactly. I was going to ask you. You've kind of followed AJ for years. Isn't it true? Anytime one of his supporters ever gets in trouble, the first thing he'll do is denounce him.
Look at the Browns, the tax evader, the non-paying tax, the Browns, Elaine Brown. He dumped them in a second.
It was, excuse me, Ognir, you're being too kind to him. Not only did he dump him, I can't believe no one else has ever noticed this. I'm like the only person. He was accused at another standoff, I can't remember which, of giving information of how many people were inside the house, how many weapons were there, schedule of sleeping. He did the exact same thing to the Browns. I heard it myself on his show. And before he even did that, he was given a kind of an explanation.
I'd like to just make it clear, especially to another knucklehead, a couple of knuckleheads, level 1 online. He's one of the biggest knuckleheads, and I don't know why I don't listen to Alex Jones. I listen to clips, when they come up, Joe. I read an article when it's posted. If you go to Rivero and he has it every day. I don't listen to it, and I don't know how you do still listen to him, Joe, because a year ago you were a big AJ fan.
I also listen to Eric John Phelps. Basically, I listen to AJ.
That's true.
AJ for the laughs. Thank you for reminding me that there's something else we kind of have to discuss. A lot of people at ConCen, it seems like somehow, some way, I'm starting to get the feeling that there's a lot of anger at ConCen. If you remember the old times, people were basically a bunch of potheads, drug addicts, mentally ill. But it looks like ConCen is very serious. I don't see a lot of laughs or giggles anymore.
Joe, what's going on there is trying to there's only a couple of groups, we include ourselves in one group, the anti-Zionist movement that went after Eric John Phelps. That's one thing that was so obvious. The other thing is we have all these politically correct and supporters of, child mutilation in Gaza, supporters of Israel, and the Jewish members on ConCen, which they're entitled to be on. I'm not saying they're not. That are there, and they're trying to guide ConCen in a specific direction. Now, I can judge it from what I don't read every comment, and I don't. I used to download everything. Don't download. I'm very specific about what I download now. Why am I keep getting warnings from Yeti, and he keeps bitching at me? He said, "Oh, you're trying to make TIU take over this," which is absolutely not true. I mean, more look to Yeti for running it. And I know it's a pain in the ass, and you get 100 emails from people saying, "Oh, you shouldn't let this one up," and we need don't do this and don't. And he's probably a busy guy. He has a job, and you have to listen to this. But I'm just saying there needs more admins, but with a vision. And I don't see any vision. I've been very vocal, Joe, I'm always very vocal on the place.
Yeah.
in the last couple of months, there's a void there, yet he does not fill the void. You know, he can send me a nasty PM, and that's about it. And yet I come back and I still upload, and I give you, you know, bring original content. You know, not this fucking Hollywood media nonsense and, you know, a poll. Now, there was another one, Joe, and this one I'd slightly disagree with some people. Mainstream media. There was a debate that I had absolutely no part in recently. Somebody was uploading Limbaugh and Sean Hannity, and I think there was a big outcry over that. I'm not so sure if that is that allowed anymore.
I have to tell the truth, even though I've had a history of being, to say, not pleasant relationship with him. It was Easy Shanking who has been deleting those right-wing propaganda torrents.
But I don't understand why. Now, and I'll give you a reason.
Strange.
I downloaded one of them. I don't know which. I downloaded one. I mean, propaganda. I mean, everything is propaganda. Just leave the bloody thing up. This, you know, individually sponsoring. I mean, I want to hear what Sean Hannity is saying. I want to hear what, you know, Rush Limbaugh is saying, because I've never heard these guys. I've never heard. I've heard little clips here and there. I've seen Hannity on you know, on Fox News, on 4 News. But I'd be curious to see what this ardent supporter of Israel is saying, and telling you know, any 9/11 truthers that call in, you know, dissing them and whatever. I'm interested in, instead of listening to, you know, like to Eric John Phelps or some of the other morons that are on the tracker. I'd like to have the choice. And that being said, Joe, I listened to a little bit of the audio the other day. I'm not so sure which one it was, and I did a little bit of research, and I came across a couple of videos on YouTube of this Jewish guy, Michael Weiner, better known as Michael Savage.
Weiner Savage, yes.
I looked at some of his audios and or some of his YouTube, and it was very interesting to see. You know, he's acting like, you know, he's a white American, but you know, Israel, you can't discuss it. Now, I'd heard of the guy. I knew who the guy was. I'd never heard any of his shows, and that was due in part to, you know, a deleted torrent from ConCen, and I'd urged him not to delete them. You know, if it's child porn or music or, you know, Hollywood, delete. You know, that's always been the rule. But Mike made it very clear to me when, you know, it's gone back 4 or 5 years, and when we were on the same page. You know, one man's propaganda. You understand, Joe?
Yeah, I understand. It's funny you should mention Zionist supporters of Israel. Alex Jones is a big fan of the Savage Weiner. He always discusses him on the show.
He's a big fan. Listen, they have him on. He's been used now at the moment as a bridge between the dying mainstream media like Fox News, although their numbers are going up, you know, because they're, you know, white people are mad with Obama and, you know, and healthcare and all this other stuff, and he's acting as a bridge. Now, look at all the big English-speaking TV channels that we all have access to, especially here in Europe, Joe. Fox News,
yes,
RT, Russian channel, Al Jazeera. You know, they have Jones up, so they're using Jones as a bridge between Rivero, Weiner, and the rest of them, the right-wing nut jobs, with right-wing nut job Jones, and you know, they know he's got the big numbers. You know, he gets 200,000 listeners a day. Most of these guys would probably love to have these numbers, and you know, they'll bring him to Hollywood, and you know, he has his right of return already. So, you know, we'll see how this plays out. But I mean, he dissed Rents. He went after Rents. He can get
Piper.
He can get Piper or even Jack Blood. You know, he got radio stations to pull people. Look at the girl and the guy from the gun rally that you were talking about earlier in the show, Joe. They got pulled off the radio, and the archive of them bitching about Jones got pulled off. Now, that is so ridiculous. But this is the thinking of Jones. You know, he has the site pulled that we won't find out about it. But he had the source pulled.